Hi there, my name is Eric, and in this video I'm going to run through everything that's happened thus far in the development of Breakbeats. But first let me tell you a little bit about Breakbeats. Breakbeats is a game that I've been developing, and it is a rhythm-based brick breaker game. The intent of the game is to mix music and visuals in the way that games like Tetris Effect or Thumper have done, while using the mechanics of games like Breakout or Arkanoid. It's an update of an older game style with some newer twists. So let's go back to the beginning of where this game started. In January 2020, I participated in the Global Game Jam. The Global Game Jam is a 3-day event where teams of people all over the world challenge themselves to create a functioning game in less than 72 hours. This year's theme for the jam was the word repair. I was part of a 4-person team consisting of Dylan Ribb, Jesse Holden, Eran Haas, and myself. On the Friday of the game jam, we developed the basic concepts of the game. Players would repair a piece of music as it moved across the screen, using the well-known brick breaker mechanics. We named the game Breakbeats in reference to the original Breakout, created by Steve Wozniak in 1976, but also in reference to breakbeat music, which was a genre that was developed in the late 70s as well. We worked over the weekend, and on the Sunday of the jam, we submitted a game that looked like this. It's notable to point out that we all live in Portland, Oregon, and we are a part of the Portland Indie Gaming Squad, also known as Pig Squad. And Pig Squad had scheduled a Game Jam showcase for late February. Because of this, our team continued to polish the game throughout February so that we could share the best possible version of the game at this event. And at that showcase, we had dozens of people playing this version of the game. After the showcase, I was interested in continuing work on this game. I felt like it had a fairly solid core, and I'd been looking for a first publishable game to work on, so I decided to go all in on this game. I asked the team to meet one additional time to walk through where the game could go from here. We whiteboarded a fair amount of potential features, mechanics, and themes, and I more or less picked up the game as a personal side project from there. I periodically still check in with the others for feedback, but they have mostly stepped out of any role of regular contribution. The basic ideas that we got from that final meeting were, firstly, we wanted the player to feel and experience the music as much as possible. We also didn't want to punish or rush the player. It's intended to be a very calm game. However, unlocking additional levels and songs does require the player to complete each level at a certain proficiency. And really, above all, we wanted the music and the visuals to sync up with each other in meaningful ways and in ways that help the player feel connected with the music. So at this point, it's worth talking about how game jams and actual development differ. In a game jam, creation is really fast and frantic. A lot of corners are cut just to get the game working, and it pays off in that you see a lot of very fast progress. But the output doesn't often take into account performance, compatibility, scalability, or maintainability. So that results in a game jam code base not being a good place to start actual development. So when I decided to continue work on the project, I realized I needed to start effectively from scratch. So the things you're about to see are going to look a lot less polished. For the rest of this video, every visual and audio element that you'll see or hear is a placeholder. The work I'll be showing is mostly building an infrastructure to support the audio and visual interactions and the basic mechanics. So starting in February, I created prototypes using Fmod, which is an audio middleware. And this helped me solve a lot of issues we had during the game jam regarding audio glitches, audio syncing, and audio manipulation. It made it so that I was building on top of a very solid foundation of audio software. By late March, I had recreated the mechanics from the game jam using better systems for input and audio. This included support for keyboard, mouse, Xbox, PlayStation controllers. I'd introduced haptic feedback and a little bit of screen shake, because screen shake's cool. In April, I did a bit more back-end work, storing game state, tracking score, and prototyping a few skill mechanics, one being sticky paddle, the other being a means of pulling the ball to the paddle. I also created a skill charge system to encourage players to use these skills strategically instead of just spamming them all the time. May involved a good amount of menu design and creation. This is where I finally started building out the ability to unlock levels. You'll also see bricks pulsing in time with the beat. In June, I started prototyping a new game mode. This follows the adaptive audio model that Tetris Effect, Doom Eternal, and many other modern games use. The song progresses to more and more energetic sections as the player breaks more bricks. Between July and August, I had a series of other events that took some of my time, but I was able to get the project to the following state as of today. You'll notice the following. The menu system is far more fleshed out. There are now two basic song modes for different levels. One involves descending bricks that add new tracks of audio as they show up on the screen. This mode continues the idea of repairing notes as they are hit. The second mode plays one section of the song at a time. The song progresses as the player completes milestones. This diverges from the repair idea, but makes level design more flexible and gives more freedom to the composer to write songs that progress in ways that aren't bound to adding a single track of audio one after the other. In both modes, bricks are now cleared on beat instead of when the ball hits them. This is intended to keep the audio and visuals synced up with the music. In the new section-based mode, the sound made by clearing bricks is configured per section. This way, an early section can have a very soft, subtle sound, and as the song progresses, it can change the instrument or the intensity of this brick-breaking sound. And that's about all I have for this progress report. There will be more in the future as I continue work. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll catch you later.